Right. Looks like I think we have almost everybody here. Carolina and all the other presenters. I know everybody's got a busy day, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Joseph. I'm the vice chair of the city's School Community Relations Committee, or the SCRC. I want to thank you all for being here this morning for the first planning meeting for our second annual Coral Gables Family Literacy Festival. Um, I just wanted to go over real briefly our agenda. We're going to talk a little bit debrief from last year's event, just very briefly, give you some last minute data. We'll talk about the preliminary plans for this year, including the date and other things to get on your calendars. I'd like to hear some of your ideas, and also now that a lot of you have been through this event before, what it is you're prepared to commit to for this year initially. And then we'll talk about the Ambassadors Awards program and wrap up. So the first thing I wanted to do was to introduce, and I'm sorry, I'm going to put myself, I don't want you having to see my head looking around all day. I'm admitting folks and want to check and make sure of all of the dignitaries that I have in house and allow folks to say hello who need to. Let me make sure. I don't have any commissioners in house. I don't. All right. I want to introduce you all. Most of you know her because she was very instrumental to making this event happen. Last year, we could not have done it without Carolina and the folks from the city of Coral Gables' community recreation department. They are by the way, I always start out by saying this. This is a official city event. It is paid for, sponsored by the city, and staffed and worked by the city's community recreation department, or Parks and Rec, which I think is one of the best in the world, and they prove it every single time with all of our events. The event itself is run out of the SCRC, the Education Committee, and came out of our committee. But we work with a lot of different committees: Library Advisory Board, Disability Advisory Board, anywhere we have to go to talk to folks about how do we get the full community involved and make it as inclusive an event as we can. We really try to. So there are a lot of city departments, staff, and others involved. As a matter of fact, as I was telling Carolina the other day, the mailing list has extended to over 100 folks who have some kind of part and play to make sure that this event is successful. So I want to thank you all starting out for your help, for your efforts, for your time, and we look forward to making it as successful, if not more successful, than our inaugural event. And so Carolina, are you around? I see your camera, but I don't see you. And I don't want to turn it over to a dead camera. While we're waiting on Carolina, let me give you some basic stats from last year's events. We recorded anywhere from 12 to 1,500 folks in attendance at the inaugural um, uh, literacy festival. We were expecting anywhere from 2 to 400, so we were very, very pleased, and we deemed it a very successful event based on the numbers. But more than just the numbers, the atmosphere, the comments that we received, and just the general joy and pleasure that folks had at the event really let us know that we had something that was good, that works, and that folks want to be a part of, and hope will last into the future. Um, I had a chance to meet with a lot of the principals, including Mariteri Rojas from the school board who was there, although we didn't have major school participation. She was there along with other school personnel in attendance, and they were very, very pleased at what they saw and want to have more students involved this year and more district involvement this year. I had a chance to meet and debrief with the mayor and commissioners, getting their impressions. I think we had almost every commissioner in attendance, and the mayor opened up the event, and their families were there. And also, I got to meet with a lot of our vendors and a lot of you who were there at the event to debrief. So, thank you. We learned a lot, and some of it we already implemented in events that we've already hosted, like Adventure for All. And we even had some of our vendors and others at those events. So, those lessons have already helped to make events and things in the city better. Um, I wanted to show you guys a short video of the event, but I don't have that loaded right now. What I'll do is I'll send you guys the link to that at some point. But again, you'll get pictures are much better than words, and you'll get a much better idea of how great an event it was. I think that's all I have in terms of general debriefing from the event. As I said, I think it went well. I see Vanessa Label is here from Choice MD, and actually her video was one that I was going to show. Vanessa, if you have a second, maybe you could talk a little bit about the your impressions of the Literacy Festival and then the lessons learned that helped out with Adventure for All this past weekend or a couple weekends ago.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Sam, for the introduction. Yes, so both events turned out phenomenal. Choice MD participated as a vendor at both events. The Summer Literacy Festival, I think, was the first time we decided to have an event within the community and not in front of City Hall. And that turned out to be a huge success. There were, I mean, it was the first event, so we can't compare it to anything, but the participation, the attendance was remarkable. Like Sam said, there were some lessons that we learned, but they were really truly small. Taking them over to Adventure Day for All, the big lesson that we learned was one, to keep the events within the community. So we took that one instead of in front of City Hall to Salvador Park. And that one, we can compare the numbers from last year. I think we had, well, not last year, during the pandemic, it was on hold, but the previous year that we did hold the Adventure Day for All in front of City Hall, I think we had around 400 to 500 attendees. Whereas this year in Salvador Park, we had 1,200 people, upwards of 1,200 people. So there was a lot of attendees. And same goes for the Summer Literacy Festival. One of the things that we learned to get more people to attend was to reach out through the school, through the PTAs, through the school parent teacher administrations. And so that really helped to get our attendance up and to get the word out. But as far as the events, the city did a remarkable job and really truly making them wonderful. It was nice to see at the Summer Literacy Festival, it was nice to have just a small representation of the Disability Advisory Board, of the things that go on within, and I'd like to see a little bit more of that. But likewise, also, we took over some of the vendors from the Summer Literacy Festival to the Adventure Day for All. So it was nice to see them shared. And that was something that I think we can appreciate for the community. But those really were my thoughts. Sam did an amazing job. Both events, the city did an amazing job. The Summer Literacy Festival turned out wonderful, and as did the Adventure Day for All. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. No, look, one of the endeavors of this literacy festival was to bring together partners like Choice MD and all of you that are on the call to really help us as a city look at how do we provide the world-class services that our residents and our families deserve, require, and pay for. And so it was great to walk through Adventure for All Day and see vendors from the Literacy Festival and vice versa. As I told them at the Disability Affairs Board, I'm going to pilfer a few more from Adventure All Day also. And I think that makes our families comfortable. They get to know the vendors. know the events, it's in their neighborhoods, and it really does have that close family feel. Look, the other things we heard, and Vanessa mentioned them, was keep it local. Keep the event as local as possible. Invite local authors, and we do. We want to have more local authors in attendance, reading, signing books, talking about how they produce their works. Folks wanted to meet people from the industry also, the publishing industry, and anything that surrounds the literacy industry, so that we show our students some examples of career opportunities. More books, lots more books. People wanted, they left with a lot of books, but people wanted to buy, get for free, and they also wanted to donate books. So we will have more and more books, a lot more books for sale, offerings from pre-K to elderly people like me. Everyone will have something that you can enjoy and learn from at the Literacy Festival. And the other thing was to emphasize community and service. I heard it over and over again. This is what community is. This is what community is about. What a great community event. And so we really do want to highlight the best of our community. We showed some great examples of youth and other programming and services available in the community surrounded around literacy. Again, having those firsthand, those authors there, the library and their wonderful technology. It really, really was just a great way to show the best of who we are and what we are and what makes us so great. So we're going to take the advice that we heard from folks, and you will. You're going to see a lot more, and we ask your help in this effort, because obviously the city, yes, we do events and we do them very, very well, but necessarily the themes of them are not our forte, and we ask our community and especially our community boards to help us get it right and get the right people there. You can expect to see more booths, and it be with COVID protocols going into hiatus. We will have indoor activities, limited, but hopefully some limited indoor activities, and also put together our literacy hotspot tours so that we can show folks around town that there are a lot of offerings in terms of literacy and where they can get their fix throughout the year. So that's the debrief that I have from last year. Carolina, I still don't see Carolina. So I'm going to move on to the next section. And let's talk a little bit about preliminary plans for next year. I sent you guys the fact sheet and this was the method by which we worked in planning the event last year, was really to work from one document where we kept all of the information, commitments, who's participating, and really all the information of the event, so that everybody had the same working document. So this year, as you see, we're starting out with it being called the second annual Coral Gables Family Literacy Festival. We'll see if it stays that way or it has another name, but we know for sure it will stay the Coral Gables Family Literacy Festival. Some additions on the first page you'll see. One is we added a bullet to assist our schools and families in dealing with the student learning losses associated with the pandemic. This is a major, major issue that our public schools, frankly, all of our schools are facing. Our students, our kids face some major learning losses during this pandemic between homeschooling and limited in-person schooling. And so we really want to emphasize how the summer is a great time for families to really kind of catch up with their kids and see what they can do about interventions to get their kids again back on level. Because at the end of the day, the the driving impetus for this event is to really look at how do we get our kids reading at grade level by third grade. And so compounding that with additional learning losses is not helping our effort. So you will see some more presence from the Miami-Dade County Public Schools at the event, including interventionists, and we'll do some evaluations for families and also detail programs and other services that they can access to deal with that learning loss. I'm going to skip through. I just wanted you all to see the partners and also vendors that we had from last year and commitments, and it also be a reminder for some of you the commitments that were made, but I'm not going to go through that. What I really wanted to go through with you all is the date, which we have, Saturday, May 28th. Please put that in your calendar, save the date. It is Memorial Day weekend. We like the turnout that we got that weekend, and we more than the turnout, we like the comments we received from the families that did turn out. They a lot of those families told us, look, we're here because this is one of the few family events on a Memorial Day weekend, and we're not going out of town. And so I think we want to see if with COVID gone, if we can increase that audience, and maybe there'll be an even greater group of folks staying around for that. And I also liked the context with Memorial Day and again service and honoring community. And so we'll try it again for this year, see how it works. But I think it will become the lasting time schedule for us. There's Carolina. Hey, Carolina. The only other thing I wanted to talk to you about on here is you'll see a lot of the stuff that was on, whether it's the ribbon cutting or the opening ceremonies. Some of it was virtual. We're hoping to be able to do a lot of that stuff live. Hopefully we'll have a main stage with some performances, and we'd like to have students reading, doing readings, doing performances, poetry, and really make it an active and live event. And so a lot of those things we hope to be able to do live and in person. Carolina, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I did find that Facebook Live, if you still wanted me to share
Yes.
that, Sam.
That would be great.
Let me just make sure I can share the screen with audio. Are you guys able to see that?
No,
No?
I see has started. There we go.
no, yes.
Let me maximize. Full screen, are you guys able to see the full screen?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So let me go ahead and play that. So it's like a 9-minute video, so I'm going to skip over some of the beginning.
Are some of the elected officials that are joining us. We have one of our commissioners, and I'm incredibly proud.
I'll go straight to the ribbon
Studies show
cutting.
we are shaped by it. Coral Gables Family Literacy Planning Committee, and most importantly, the Community Recreation Department, Fred Crucero. It's the truth. And especially Carolina Vester, who worked really hard to deliver on this event. I also want to take this moment, I think this is the first time that I get to introduce them in public. Our newest commissioners, Commissioner Rhonda Anderson, who served for me for the last 2 years on the Planning and Zoning Board, and we're blessed to have her here. And Commissioner Menendez, who everybody knows, we're here on his grounds here at the youth center. So, yeah. So we're blessed to have both of them serving on behalf of the city of Coral Gables. I also want to thank city staff, like I mentioned, who has done a phenomenal job and making today possible. So let's enjoy this Memorial Day weekend together with a book in hand, and let's surround ourselves by our family and the great entertainment. I would like to ask the commission, but before we do that, I'd like to ask Maritere Ross from the school board to say a few words. As I told you before, she represents Coral Gables through and through, and we're blessed to have her here. God bless all of you. Thank you. And now we'll cut a ribbon after she speaks.
Thank you so much.
so proud to have you as our mayor. Oh, well,
Do it for me. Vice Mayor. And how could I have forgotten? I'm so sorry, and I hate to interrupt the school board member. I forgot to mention Vice Mayor Mike Mena, who's here supporting us all. So, thank you. I'm embarrassed. Perdóname. Thank you.
thank you so much, Mayor Lago. It's such an honor to be here with you, the vice mayor, and all of the other commissioners from the beautiful city of Coral Gables, as well as all the other dignitaries that are here. But most especially for me, I want to say thank you to the parents that are here, because reading is something that your children have to develop a love for. And they will do that if you, as the parents, who are your children's first teachers, will show them through your example how important reading and literacy is for all of them. And it's not what you say, it's what you do that counts. Your children will emulate your actions. And it is imperative for us to promote a program such as this one, an activity that is going to get your children more involved in the process of developing a love for reading, a love for reading. So I just want to let everyone know, our teachers have done a phenomenal job this year with this pandemic. There have been so many challenges, and I know we have teachers here. I spoke to a couple of them when I arrived earlier today. So a big thank you to our teachers, to our parents, let's hear it for our families, to our amazing partners, our partners in the city of Coral Gables, our city beautiful. Let's give them a round of applause. To the members of our team, Sam Joseph, and everyone else in our committee that has worked diligently to make this day become a reality. Everything starts off with a dream. And dreams do become a reality when you have teamwork. And that's why I always say teamwork is what makes the dream work. But it wouldn't happen without the most important people, in my opinion, the reason why we're all here, our future leaders of tomorrow, our avid readers of tomorrow, who will make a difference for all of us in a much better world than the one we have today. And those are our students, and we have so many of them, and one right here. Come up front so they can see you. This is going to be one of my graduates who will be graduating Coral Gables. I will see her on Tuesday. She spoke beautifully the other day. We are so proud of you, and you're the reason why all of us are here today. So thank you. Again, to all, thank you for this opportunity to share this wonderful moment with all of you. And I hope that you continue going out to your public libraries, go to the libraries at our schools, get your children involved in reading as much as you possibly can, and I assure you, you're going to see academic success without a doubt. Thank you. God bless all of you, and have a wonderful day.
Sam, let's just say a brief words, and then we're gonna cut this ribbon. Let's go.
I promise, only two things I want to say to you today. First one is thank you. This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning, inaugural. We're gonna do this forever, I promise you. Second thing I wanna say to you is, please find a way to serve. This all happened out of volunteers serving on committees to get the government that they want and that they deserve. If you want to see something, join in the work to get it done. Find a committee, find a board, serve, and make a difference. Thank you for being here today. Enjoy.
Cut the ribbon. All right. Sam.
So that was basically the ribbon cutting. There's some other Facebook Lives. If you look and back on social media and you search by the hashtag Gables Lit Fest, we had some Facebook Lives of just the walkthrough of the event, and you get to really see the amount of people that participated. But we averaged about 1,200 participants. So that was a great turnout for us, and we weren't sure how it was going to go for a Memorial Day weekend, but I think we hit that special niche of people who don't travel, who aren't going to go to the crazy beach or boating weekend, and they're just looking for something nice to do with the family, which really this event catered for. So I think we hit a good weekend, not just relative to having a COVID weekend, but I think in general. So we're going to stick with the date, like Sam mentioned, and look for the similar setup. We're looking at expanding, of course, our vendors, some social distancing with our vendors this past Literacy Fest. So we're going to look at it, adding additional vendors. So definitely please share the information with others in the industry that want to participate. Hopefully we'll have lots more books. And then capacity wise, we're going to make some adjustments just because we did receive a lot of feedback from the residential neighborhood that there was an impact on traffic, there was an impact on parking. So we're going to make sure we provide additional staffing from police, parking staff to assist with parking, additional notifications to the community in advance, and look at keeping kind of the same safe capacity, maybe grow a little bit, but just that venue in itself is still limited, especially with the library still closed. I think, what is it, like a year from now? So the following one, I think the library will be back open, and then we can look at expanding the space a little bit more because we'll have that additional space and venue in the library, and then we can be a bigger festival. So that's basically all I have to share, Sam, unless you have any specific questions from us.
No, and you actually brought up a couple of the issues that, if there are any outstanding issues that came up. One was our handicap parking issue. We had taken up the handicap parking, and and again, that was hindsight's 2020. It made perfect sense at the time as we were planning to take up those spaces, and we hadn't thought anything of it. And that's where, again, working with our folks from the Disability Affairs Board and others, we can make sure we avoid those issues. And then the neighborhood issue. There were some folks, yes, who felt that they certainly didn't want to see the event grow any bigger, as they didn't want it to add to the traffic issues and other issues that come with it in being a neighbor. And so I will be honest with you, there have been discussions, and I have left this to the mayor, and it's up to the mayor's final decision on where he wants to finally host the event. I believe we're going to go with the youth center space that we were in, but I cannot guarantee you that 100%, because again, I left that to the mayor to make the final decision with staff on what he felt was best for the city moving forward. So there have been some alternate locations that have been mentioned, have been Biltmore Way out in front of City Hall, where we do the pumpkin event. Is that Pittman Park? I don't remember the name of that park.
Yes, that's
No, so in front of City Hall, it's Merrick Park. The Pittman Park, actually, and Fred will chime in too, is we actually outgrew that space ourselves this year.
Yeah, Sam, when this pumpkin patch was really crowded, we're probably going to have to move it. So, I mean, there's limited space there because you also have Giralda and you have a lot of traffic there. So you only got a small street space and a small park. It's actually a lot less of a footprint than the youth center.
Yeah, no, I felt the same way. This was some of the things that were thrown at me by the mayor and others. But again, I leave it to staff and the mayor. It is a city event, and we go with wherever they ask us to go. I'm glad, Vanessa. Thank you for mentioning how we found with Adventure for All Day that moving it into the community, these events does have value, and there are a lot of folks in the community that don't mind seeing it and hosting it. And so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Was that Fred? I heard that was.
Yeah, I think, and we'll definitely talk more with the city manager and the mayor and the commissioners. You know, I think if we manage some of the components of our last festival a little better in terms of, you know, having a better grip on the parking, maybe having parking attendants, making sure that we park in specific spaces, and we have a little bit more traffic control with police, I think the neighborhood situation will lessen. If we have further control on it, I think we'll be okay. So those are the things that we'll discuss. You know, Biltmore Way is bigger and it's got a lot more infrastructure, but it's also the site of many events, and fitting it in there. We have a lot of May events already in downtown historically. You know, there's Chamber of Commerce runs, there's a bunch of different stuff that happens in May. So, but you know, we can look at that if we need to.
Well,
the youth center also has that shade, which is huge.
That was the piece that I've mentioned to everybody. You know, it just feels like a natural fit. Not only is a library there, but that natural canopy is just you can't beat it. Because I know for my folks who were in the Scholastics tent out front, who didn't have the tree canopy, you guys fried.
Yes, and that's the problem. And that's the problem with Biltmore Way. Biltmore Way, when you're there in May, it is just wide open. It's just coming down.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Sam, our sacrifice was on the staff side so that we wouldn't sacrifice anybody else on the side.
I know. You guys are the best. And you did that, and we appreciate it. But you fried. I saw it.
We lost a few pounds. We did it for a little fitness. We wanted to sweat a few pounds off.
The only other thing I wanted to say, guys, is look, we want to do, as I said, we want to keep it local and invite local authors. We don't know authors. We don't know, you know, these folks. This is the milieu that you guys are in. So any help you can provide in connecting us with the right folks and providing them with that firsthand knowledge of the event and letting them know that this is a real thing, where they can come and talk about their works and they'll get a great reaction. We would really appreciate it. In that effort, what I want to do is I want to go through and hear from you all. First of all, who you are, what you do, and if you were participated last year, any ideas, opportunities for growth that you have for us, let us know. And then more importantly, how do you want to connect with the festival this year? And I'm going to start off by giving you the example from the PTA, PTSA. Again, I'm glad Vanessa brought them up. The folks from the Miami-Dade County Council, PTA, PTSA, were unbelievable at last year's event. And they were a last-minute addition. But their booth had to be one of the most popular. Sharon West, who's the president, staffed it herself. I don't think she ever got a chance to get up and even go take a break. They are very excited about being back this year, and she couldn't make it today, but I think her literacy chair's on, Ms. Wilder. And Sharon sent me a note saying, first of all, please plan on us being there. We're looking forward to another successful year. We need our own booth because we had them combined with somebody else. And thank goodness that group didn't show up because they had to take over the whole booth with all of their stock. They'll need a whole booth. They're going to be giving away out free books. And they've already got a couple of authors lined up who will come and do signings and readings, and are working on an inclusive author to be a sponsor of a reading and several books. So that's the kind of what I'm looking for is how do you want to connect with us? And again, who you are, what you do, any ideas you had from last year, and how you want to connect with us. And I want to start with our folks from the Miami-Dade Libraries. And I saw that Monica was on here. Monica, you still here? Monica Martinez? I guess she must have had to go off. Let's go then next to Vanessa.
Good morning again, everyone. I'm Vanessa Liebel, the founder of Choice MD. So we are an all-encompassing healthcare resource. And what we brought out last year was just resources to connect the community. Basically, the idea was kids cannot learn if they're stressed. And so we were connecting them to all the resources within the community that would help them with stress, the things that they were going through to help navigate those challenges. And we look forward to doing something very similar this year. We're running an adverse childhood experiences campaign, and it ties in actually. So we'll be sharing a lot of information through that. And then we've got coloring books and lots of activities and things like that. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. Oh, and masks as well. We've got tons of masks for kids to make for crafts.
Excellent. And
I have to
actually-
share that Vanessa probably had the best photo ops in her booth. Everybody stopped to take lots of pictures in her booth.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
And
We
the
love photo ops. That's a
the
great-
best Instagram presence also, because if you want to see some nice Instagram short videos and clips of the event itself and her booth that was packed, that was great. Thank you, Vanessa.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting us. It was great.
And by the way, I saw your video. I watched the Aces video, and I knew I'd seen it before. One of the things we did at last year's event was we did do some showings and some airings of Video Literacy Incorporates video, audio. We're going to see what we can do about doing that. Maybe now that we have some access to indoor, maybe we'll have a showing space. But that video, I think, is very important. Even if we don't show it, we need to reference it with our families.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I will love to work with you guys on that for different ideas.
You got it. Let's go to Coral Gables Library. Do we have anybody on from the Coral Gables Library? I don't see anyone. Let's go. How about Crystal Academy? They were another big, very popular booth. Anyone in from Crystal Academy? I'm not too worried about Crystal Academy because I do a lot of work with Mari Palacio Pike, who is the chair of the Disability Advisory Board. Oh, I knew there was one other thing I needed to tell you all about. The one other thing I need to tell you about is the mayor had made a recommendation that since this is going to be an ongoing event, that we look at putting together a small blue ribbon planning committee. This group is about 74 or 75 people, the mailing list, but this would be a smaller group, less than about half than that, to really look at diving into the specific plans for the event. This group would obviously include staff, city staff, and also the mayor wants to be invited to all of the meetings, and include our bigger partners and hosts that have been a part of this since really the planning almost 4 years ago. I will be sending off messages to the folks who are going to be on this Blue Ribbon Planning Committee, and the first meeting for that group will be later this month, either late November or early December. But I wanted to put that on your agenda. We still will be having our full group planning meetings. We'll get back together again in January, and then we'll meet a little more frequently as we get closer to the event. But this Blue Ribbon Planning Group, really their job is to iron out the big details, get the information to this planning committee, and then eventually it's taken on to the education committee, the SCRC, that sends the recommendations on to the commission for approval. So I just wanted you guys to have an idea that'll be happening. Look for communications on that, but everyone will still have a play in our efforts in terms of planning for the event at the end of the day. Did I see Danielle Barreras from the Children's Trust? I guess not. Steve, Arts for All, Florida. It's good to have you back.
Oh, nice to be here, Sam. Looking forward to next year. It was my first time at the event, and what we're going to try to do next time is work in an active arts, conduct an active arts activity. Try to bring some more people in and show everybody what we do when we go about our business with special populations. That's what we're looking at anyway.
Excellent. And thank you very much. Steve, by the way, forwarded some information. Literacy doesn't happen just at the event, it happens all year long. And we also want to share information with our partners about special opportunities that are out there for students or for adults. And Steve shared some great information about performance scholarship opportunities that are out there and accessibility that I passed along. But again, part of what this group putting together this event was about was getting everybody together to learn what we do and how we do it, and then how we can connect with one another. In that vein, Mitchell Kaplan could not join us today for Books and Books, and neither could our friends from the book fair, Miami International Book Fair. As you know, the book fair is happening in just about a week, and so I didn't expect we'd see them. They did want us to know that we are on their radar, and whatever we need, we have their support, but they just couldn't join us here today. And then obviously we're still working with our friends from the Children's Trust around the grade level reading program, and they're also helping us with donating books to needy communities, because this year we do want to have our schools and our students donating books that we can donate back into the community. I think I saw somebody from Christie House on. Deborah, are you on? No. Okay. Miriam, Dorset, Bootstrap.
Hi there. So sorry, I ran late this morning, but I caught the very end of it, and I'm looking forward to this year or the next year's event. So thanks for inviting me, Sam.
You
Great
got
to
it.
be here.
And actually, Bootstrap did not participate in a major way last year, but they helped out tremendously in getting us authors and readings. Some of the most popular programming we had, other than the petting zoo, at the event. So I hope we can at least get that support, but I look forward to a large Bootstrap Publications booth where you're hawking your wares and talking about what you do.
Yes, definitely this year. Did I miss a date?
Yes,
Announcement?
Saturday,
Okay.
February, Saturday, May 28th.
May 28th, marking
May 28th,
it down.
2022. Put it on your calendar.
It's on. Yes. Very excited. Thank you for your kind words. It was a beautiful day.
Thank you. I see my friends from EduZone are on. Elias, are you there?
Hi, Sam. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Yes. As you may know, last year we have a participation in your platform, in your website, and we offer like several free access to all the participants. It was very successful, and I hope that this year we will be able to participate in person at the event. And you can count on us in what we can help. We can do it.
Thank you so much, Elias. EduZone also provided a iPad station, which I still have, by the way, Elias. Have all your equipment. That we unfortunately I had it out at the event, but we got so busy we didn't get a chance to use it as much as we would like. But we definitely want to set up a nice station where we can have some of our digital programming and digital access information, because we had a lot of varying age children and STEM. I had a lot of families asking me about STEM, and so I look forward to highlighting you guys and some of our other partners.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you very much, and hope to help you in whatever we can.
I appreciate it. I see we have a new group joining us this year, interested in joining us from the Junior Orange Bowl. I think Jennifer Forbes is on, along with our team. How are you, Jen?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for meeting with Fernanda, myself, and Jenny. We're on the call. And Carolina, thank you very much. The Junior Orange Bowl is really excited about exploring options to participate in this program. It's a wonderful festival. It ties in great with our creative writing committee, which I don't know if you all are aware, but the Junior Orange Bowl has been hosting a creative writing contest for all 8th graders in South Florida to participate. And we're in our 34th year doing this, along with our partner, South Florida Writers Association, and our wonderful sponsor, Books and Books, which is our literary home, and the City of Coral Gables and the Coral Gables Community Foundation. As we're planning for next year's competition, which is going to be coming up with the creative, and then this opportunity just popped up with Sam and Carolina, and we're like, yes, this is exactly what we're looking for and what the committee wants to do. So it ties in very well with our mission to get our youth writing, and we really look forward to learning more about it and participating and exploring ways where we can increase the number of submissions for our contest, which last year we were amazed. We were able to get our submissions up by 65% and had a great push with Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And a lot of the teachers were really supportive and excited about this competition for their students, where they get to learn techniques in writing and win cash prizes. They also get their works published in the South Florida Writers Association newsletter. And this year, with one of our committee members, Jenny Lopez Ponce, who's also on the call, she's with Miami Lit, they will be featured on a podcast. So the kids are going to love it. You know, who doesn't, love wanting to be on social media? So we think this is going to be a great stepping stone for many years to come. So thank you again, Sam and Carolina, and we look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Jen. And you segued perfectly into the next person I wanted to introduce, which is Jenny from Miami Lit, which is a wonderful, wonderful podcast program that really not only talks with authors and does great interviews with authors, but also industry folk, and did a wonderful interview with Mitch Kaplan. Jenny?
Hi, Sam. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for your kind words, and Jennifer as well. Sorry I sound a little iffy. I have allergies today. We are so, like Jennifer mentioned, we're so excited to partake in this wonderful event. Please count on us in any way that you think would be fit, so that we can bring in more authors and much more, what's the word I'm looking for? include the community a little more in any way that we can. I think that's what you guys are doing is absolutely amazing. And as a former educator myself, I can see how the last 2 years have really put a dent in our kids' education. So this is perfect timing.
Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate it. And Jenny actually used to teach over at Coral Gables Senior High. And it's great to see her staying in education and doing it in a fun and engaging way. Where one of the things I'm excited about is getting the kids involved in this podcasting and learning about careers in the industry. Now I see a few more names that are out there. Let me call these organizations just to make sure. Anybody here from History Miami? They were a very popular booth. I'm pretty sure that George and his folks are going to be in attendance at this year's event. We hope
Good morning,
to include.
Sam.
There we go. How are you?
Doing?
Good
We are
morning.
looking forward. We already added it to our calendar since you sent the email out, so we are all set. We'll be there.
You guys were amazing. Gave away so much material. Again, another popular booth. This is why people kept telling me more books, more stuff. Because really, the folks who were out there, you came through in such a major way. Dr. George also was wonderful, and we look for ways to include him this year. Anybody on from Mango Publishing? I do see Raymundo, our chief of IT. Raymundo, we're going to lean on you heavily this year. We had an unbelievable website for the festival. I think one of the most informational websites that I've seen in the city. And I was on the communications committee back in the aughts, and so it's been a long time since we had an informational packed website like we did. We want to do that. We want to highlight you, your work, and also do a rich virtual programming, because we know there are some families that are still not comfortable coming out to major events. So Raymundo, we're gonna need you.
Thank you, Sam. So we will be supporting again this year. Last year, we installed a Wi-Fi hotspot outdoor in that area, and that provided the coverage and the connectivity. We left it there fixed, so it's there,
excellent,
ready for this event and for any other event in that area of the youth center. And
excellent.
we will also be there supporting with staff, and we will help the community recreation team with any need on their website as well.
Thank you so much, Raymundo. Anybody else I'm missing? I think that's it. I see a couple names. Roger Rodriguez. You want to say hello?
Roy is one of the network analysts. He is the person who
No. Behind the scenes. I hear you, Roger. Behind the scenes. And Norma.
Roger is the analyst that installed the Wi-Fi router.
Thank you so much, Roger. We appreciate you. Look, I want to thank you all. Let me wrap up by saying this. I'll resend the fact sheet after the meeting. Take a look at it. Anything that I'm missing, please let me know. As you have your commitments and other ideas in, please send them to me. You'll notice on the bottom left-hand side, it will give you an updated date of when the document was last updated. I'll try to keep you as updated as I can. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the Ambassador Awards Initiative. Last year, we gave out Literacy Festival Ambassador Awards in 4 different categories. Our Literacy Ambassador Emeritus, which is Mr. Mario Vargas Llosa. Our Local Literary Legend category, in which we awarded Mitch Kaplan and Dave Lawrence. Our Coral Gables Youth Laureate category, which honored Miss Aya Hamza from Coral Gables High School. and the City Beautiful Literacy Laureate, which we honored Dave Barry and Carl Hyacin. The point of these awards was to really look at people who could serve as examples of the best we have in our community that do work around literacy. And as you see, we were pretty wide and open with our awards and who we awarded the honors. And so what I'd like to do is, with this group and with the planning committee, I really would like to get a list of nominees from you all, folks that you would like to see up there honored as our Literacy Festival ambassadors. What I'd like to do is get you to send me that information between now and January, because in January I want to put together a preliminary list for the Education Committee, the SERC, that we would eventually send on to the Commission for final approval. So please give it some thought. I will mention that in thinking about this, I recently attended the Coral Gables Senior High School Hall of Fame ceremony, and there are several nominees in the Hall of Fame that would certainly make great literacy ambassadors. But we have a lot of folks, both living and gone, who would also be great to honor. So give it some thought. Send in your ideas, because we really would like to incorporate your thoughts on this. I think other than that, the planning schedule, as you see, we're working between now and January on ironing out basic details so that we can at least get, hopefully by January, event materials out, like the vendor app and other things, so that folks can start documenting your commitments in the new year. Between now and then, we're really, taking in ideas, trying to get as much of our an idea of who wants to participate, so that we can really put together, hopefully, a good early festival plan for submission to the commission, hopefully in January or February. You'll see the full event schedule or planning timeline on that fact sheet. Again, if anything is missing, let me know. But other than that, enjoy the book fair. Miami International Book Fair coming up on the 14th, with the street fair on the 20th and 21st. And thanks and good luck to our friends over at the book fair, Dahlia Lisette and Mitch Kaplan. I know it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to it, and I look forward to reconvening with you guys in January. Carolina, you have anything left for the order, or Fred?
Just, it's always a pleasure. We're excited.
Yep. Ready to go.
I like you, fired up and ready to go. Let's do this thing. It's gonna be even bigger and better this year. Bigger, I mean, in intensity, not number of people.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good differentiation.
That's right.
Perfect.
That's right. Thank you all. You all are the best. We don't do this without you. So please let us know what you need, and I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you in January.
Sounds good. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Bye, Sam. Bye, everyone. And thank you, everybody, for participating last year.